Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So here we have a Nissan Juke. You can see it's just this light itself over here on the top is good to go. No issues on that one up there. So these ones, they're very easy. The only thing that's tedious about them is taping them up. You can see they kind of have that Mini Cooper style light where it's really round. So taping it up can be kind of a pain, but overall it's very easy. So should just get away with the 600 and apply the new clear coat. So let's do it. Alright, so for this you can see there's a little bit of paint chip right here. I did take a picture of that and did let the customer know. So you always have to make sure you're doing your inspections prior to taping, because if I were to tape that area up and it were to pull some paint up, that would have been on me. But since I notified her saying, hey, it's going to be a little bit of tape here, as long as you're careful, you should be okay. This paint's still in pretty good condition, but accidents do happen, so I always want to let them know. So what I'm doing is kind of wedging the tape in there. Trying to, at least. There we go. Wedging the tape in there. And again, as long as you're not a crazy sander, you're going to be okay. As long as you're not doing some reckless stuff, you shouldn't have a problem taping this up. So I'm going to tape this one up first, and then just do the whole process and then move on to the next one. These ones are kind of strange because I've done these before quite a few different times, and it's always this bottom side, or this bottom light. It's never the top one. I don't think I've ever done the top one. And you think it would be the opposite. You think the top one would go out first. That's not the case, just because it's on the top. So, left my watch at home, but I think it's roughly 7:45ish, somewhere around there. So, nice humid day. Every day in Florida is humid. Quite frankly, it's just getting a little old. So as I said, we're just going to start with 600 grit. Now, keep in mind, your sandpaper makes a world of difference. Some people won't really take into consideration, like, oh, why am I getting, deep scratches at the end? How come it's not coming out crystal clear? Your sandpaper makes a huge difference. Doesn't matter if it's a P or American spec or US spec. It makes a world of difference. So make sure that you are not skimping on the sandpaper, because I've used 3M and some of it can be pretty harsh. And even for me, because the clear coat has filling properties in it, it'll still leave scratches. So if you're using this clear coat, the Next Gen Headlight Solutions clear coat, and you're seeing scratches, you need to fix your sandpaper. If you're seeing scratches at the end result, your sandpaper is too coarse. Because for example, a 320 or a 400 for a 3M might be much more coarse than a 320 or a 400 from a different brand. A lot of people don't realize that, and they're doing these restorations. They're like, oh, I'm following the process, doing it step by step, but I'm still seeing scratches. Well, are you buying a really cheap grit or a really cheap sandpaper? Is it aluminum oxide? Is it there's a lot of different styles of sandpaper. So make sure you're not buying dollar store sandpaper. I'm using silicon carbide, which is a very good sandpaper to use for this, because it's not super coarse. and it just cuts perfectly through the oxidation and all that. So had perfect results with it, so I've never switched, never had a reason to. So you can see I'm scratching, or sorry, I'm sanding everywhere that I see where it's clear, like any oxidation will clear coat. Because even on oxidized headlights, you still have old clear coat underneath. There's layers. They're very, very thin layers, but they're still layers. Alright, so that's already done. So you can see it's very milky. I'm inspecting it. I don't see any clear spots or anything. So if you are first starting and you're not sure when to stop, just sand for an extra 5 to 10 minutes just to be safe. And again, with this one, I'm just doing 600. I'm not doing any other grit. Alright, we are good to go. So remove this tape. And again, if you are using this tape, because I've said it in the past, no matter what tape you use, if the paint on the vehicle is very weak, you're going to pull it up. So that's another good benefit to wet sanding, is you kind of loosen the adhesion of the tape, thus reducing the odds of pulling out the paint. And then I hope I shouldn't have to mention this, but you don't rip it off like a crazy person. Very slowly remove it, very diligently. So it's pretty wet right now. I'm going to take this microfiber and dry it up. Excuse me, my car is a little dirty. So I'm going to be using 2 rags. So this one's going to be used to dry it, and this one's going to be used to sanitize it. I got my sanitizer, 91% rubbing alcohol. So for this, I want to blast everything out first. Alright, so we got rid of all the loose water. We're going to use the dry towel first. That's going to remove all of the moisture, all of the water. We'll try to get in between there as much as we can. Just thoroughly dry it. You can see all the moisture. You can see it's a little bit more right there, but we're going to be okay. So I got the rubbing alcohol here. Just going to get all that off. I'm just going to dry it. I said in my last video that I messed up. Not necessarily messed up. I wasn't careful enough with the previous one, so the previous restoration in the other video. So I can't stress to you guys enough to make sure that you are slowing down when doing this. Don't rush it. So same thing, we're just going to try to wedge it in between. If you are struggling with it, cut smaller pieces. I'm going to go ahead and do. As I said, these can be a big pain. Mini Coopers, anything with a round headlight, typically easy to restore. You know, no severe oxidation, no micro cracking or anything like that, but the preparation is what'll get you. it's just one of those tedious things, but you know, nothing you can't handle, I promise. A little bit of patience. So you can kind of like lazily do it and then finish up masking with this, which I'm just going to do very lightly. If you've watched me for a long time, you'll understand that this process usually causes the wind to come out. So kind of surprised the wind hasn't started blowing like crazy, but I'm just going to tape up one little spot right here. If I can. One little spot right here. Alright, so for these round headlights, you gotta be pretty diligent when it comes to spraying, because it's very easy to build it up. So we're using the Next Gen Headlight Solutions Clear Coat. It's gonna add a 600, do a test spurt, and then very easy, don't go too close because it'll build up on these types of lights. And there we go. So we're gonna let that flash off. I'm just gonna set this right here. Good. So we're gonna let that flash off, clear up. It's a little humid right now, so with this, same process. 600 on this one, mask it up. And your first job is typically when you're going to have a lot of flash off. The later in the day you do it, better. It just has faster drying times. Come on. Much faster drying times. So no matter what you do, no matter what kind of clear coat you're applying, you're always going to have that flash off. So if you are doing this, try to do your restorations a little later. Have kind of a full day, so I try to start as early as possible because it is just ungodly hot out. As I said, I'm in Florida, so the humidity levels are just terrible. So that one you could see the flash off right here where I sprayed. Again, just to keep giving this time. Put the can in the sun just to keep it warm. You don't want it hot, but you want it just a little warm. That's why whenever you're driving, you want to put it in your pocket, or you can put it underneath your leg. Alright, 600. But yeah, you can see my arms, it's starting to sweat just because of the humidity. It's not even like warm out. But yeah, same thing, gonna wet sand it. Yeah, the sandpaper I use is the Klingspor. It's a Polish brand. Really good stuff. It can be a little pricey, and you have to order it in bulk. There's like a minimum. I forgot what the minimum was, but between me and Brett, we'll go through it pretty quick. All the jobs that we do, so it works out anyway. Ordering it in bulk. I'll order maybe once every few weeks. So yeah, you can see this one's already pretty much done, aside from these little edges. Which, when it comes to sanding, it's very easy to forget the edges. Like, no matter what vehicle you're doing. That's why with majority of these, you can just start with a 600. You can get away with the 600 perfectly fine. A lot of times I'll use the 400, 600 method just to move through it really quickly, but alright, I don't see any spots. Nice and easy, take the tape off. So if it wasn't for these round lights, I could probably have this job done in like 15 minutes, both of them. But see, did I leave there? Right over there, yep. Yeah, the AC, out of all times, my AC just went out on this car. I don't know what caused it, but I tried recharging it and it's went out within 15 minutes of driving, so it tells me I got a leak somewhere. Hoping it's something quick and easy, Schrader valve or something. So that means I got some rough days ahead of me until it gets fixed. Alright, so alcohol wipe here. I'm just going to dry it. Get rid of all the loose water. Now we're going to sanitize it. It's going to remove any sediments, any oils from my fingers. And then we're going to dry it again. Alright, you can see this one's perfectly clean. So now we got to be careful pulling this one off because the lights are round. So you want to touch the lens. But yeah, if you guys are looking to get into the business, do it as fast as you can. Don't wait. There's no reason why you shouldn't be out here doing this too. It's more fun than anything. Plus, when you see the customer's reaction to it, you're rekindling a fire, a newfound love for the vehicle. Because after you restore the lights, it looks good. They're like, oh well, I want to get it detailed. I want to get maintenance done. Like I want to start giving it some more attention. So I was actually watching another video, and people were saying they don't hold on to their cars for that long, but here in the States, people hold on to their cars for a very, very long time. Like it used to be 3 to 5 years. I used to work at a dealership. So you see, I just got my hand on there. That's what I was mentioning, oils. That's what causes future issues. So I got my alcohol pad air wipe here. Just gonna clean it off because if I were to spray it, the clear coat wouldn't adhere to that spot where my hand print was. So be mindful of that too. But here in the States, people, when I worked at the dealership during my training, they're like, people typically keep their vehicles between 3 to 5 years. Now it's like between 5 and 8. And inflation has a tremendous amount of play in that. Alright, same thing. Give it a good shake. Test spurt. Nice and quick. So you can see I missed the spot right over there on the top, so I'll spray it, fill it in. Got a lot of clear coat right there, which I think don't come in this. I think Quality Kings was asking about this, about the overspray. So here's the trick. We got a pretty good amount of clear coat right here, which you can't really see, but I just kind of go right over it. You can actually see the clear coat on here. It's actually yellow, but that's all you do. It's nothing nothing crazy. You don't need to use Goo Gone. Now, as a disclaimer, if you miss a spot, meaning you spray the body of the car and you miss cleaning somewhere, and you come back the next day or the next week, you're gonna have to use a clay bar or something a little bit more aggressive. Not aggressive to where you have to wet sand, nothing that far, but just something to grip the lens or grip the body more. So you'll have to use a clay bar or Goo Gone if it's really bad, because I'll try not to make it get into too much detail, but the clear coat that you're applying, it has filling properties in it, so it's very thick. So if I were to spray this on the body and let it dry and I rub my hand over it, I'll feel it. Like, it'll feel like sand on there. So you can use a pretty easy solution, pretty simple solution to get it off. So, and then you can test it. You can just rub your hand over it and you can feel if it's still there or not. But do one more inspection. This one, good to go. There's still just a hair flash off left, but just give it time. Same thing with this one, hair flash off left, but overall it looks much better. So thanks for watching.